You thought it was bad with Hitler, Mao Zedong, Stalin. You ain't seen nothing yet. Wars, rumors of wars, threats of wars, terrorism, earthquakes in many places. Yeshua said, the end is not yet. And yet, for the most part, the whole Christian world, oh, there's more earthquakes happening. It must be that Jesus is going to return any minute now. Yeshua says, the end is not yet. You haven't seen anything. You have no idea. If you think this is bad, rumors of wars and nation rising up against nation, that's nothing. Now I'm going to tell you what's really going to hit the fan. Because they're going to deliver you up to be afflicted. You're going to be hated of all nations. You are going to be killed. There is going to be mass slaughter. They are going to kill, as it says in the book of Revelation, kill with death. That word death, thanatos, is mass exterminations. You thought it was bad with Hitler, Mao Zedong, Stalin. You ain't seen nothing yet. And many are going to be offended and shall hate and betray each other. What is the snare, the scandalizo that has been set by false prophets? Yeshua is going to detail it right now. But I'm going to tell you ahead of time. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let Yeshua tell you, and then I'm going to tell you what he told you. We have been taught that Jesus is going to return any minute now. And when all of this happens, when this mass extermination happens, when Satan is released, thrown out of heaven, comes down to earth, and he has great fury and goes to make war against those who have the testimony of Yeshua and keep the commandments. This is what Yeshua said, you keep the commandments. That is the gospel of the kingdom. That's on Judgment Day. You have kept the commandments. It's not, you just said Lord once or twice, but no, it's because you have done these things. They are going to hate you. And Satan is going to come after those who keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yeshua. It is mass extermination. So I know you wanted just a comfortable message, but Yeshua is not giving a comfortable message to those disciples who just realized that the entire nation is going to go down. And when it did go down, 1 million rotted corpses were bloating in the streets of Jerusalem. The scandalizo is everyone thinks they're getting out of here. And when it doesn't happen, they're going to know they've been lied to. Their whole religious system has lied to them their whole life. They told me that he's going to come back at any time. All we have to do is see more earthquakes and a little bit more terrorism, stuff like that, and floods and some pestilence and swine flu increasing. And then he would be, surely he's going to return anytime. No, he's going to tell us about this. But this is a snare that has been set. Everyone is going through life just la-di-da-di-da-di-da, not doing what Yeshua said, not living as priests and kings, and putting forth their authority to rule by prayer and fasting. Because we are not doing that, we are just living life of Riley. We are going to be taken, and we're going to hate and betray each other to death. That's the snare, and now Yeshua is going to lay it out. And many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. Many prophesying falsely. He is saying that false prophets are going to set the snare. He's going to say and deceive many. That's why he's saying, let no man deceive you. Listen to me. Don't listen to these morons who pray around with the Bible. This is my Bible. I believe it says what it says it does. It, whatever that mantra is. Grace is not a license to do whatever you want to do. Grace is a divine empowerment to live a holy, a righteous, and a godly life in the midst of a sick, twisted, and perverse world. And that sick, twisted, and perverse world is a world of religion. Religion is a broad path that leads to destruction. Everybody is religious. Everybody. The atheist, God, what a religious group of people. The Muslims, very religious. Everybody's religious out there. Everyone's made up their own rules and regulations. You kill enough infidels and you get 70 virgin prostitutes in heaven, or whatever it is. That's a Muslim heaven. For the poker player, it's the great poker table in the sky, where you're the only one that ever wins. False prophets shall arise and deceive many. This is what has invaded the Christian church. That is what I was. I was a paid professional false prophet. But I kept reading. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Because iniquity, without, nomia, Torah. Because Torahlessness shall abound, living without the constraint of God's Torah, because that is going to abound. Because false prophets are going to say, they're going to break the commandments of God and teach others to do so. These false prophets who are called in the kingdom of heaven cow dung, they are setting the trap, deceiving everyone. And because their anti-Torah, their Torahlessness shall abound, it will permeate the Christian church. It will permeate those who say they follow him and say, Lord, Lord. And didn't we cast out demons in your name? Didn't we fly in our jets to the uttermost part of the earth and preach the name of Jesus and raise money? Didn't we do that? Because anomia, being without teaching against the Torah, violating the commandments of God, and teaching other people they're free to violate the commandments of God, because that is going to abound among the followers of Yeshua. It says, the love of many shall wax cold. Wax cold. And really the picture is cold wax. Grow cold, well, it's more like that. It's like stone cold brittle. The love is going to go cold. They're going to hate and betray each other to death because they thought they were getting out of here. They thought that the Torah had been done away with and they could do whatever they wanted to. They didn't realize that they're simply in training for the millennial reign of the Messiah. Because if they've done what I've asked them to do, if they've taken the one talent, the one thing that I gave them, and they just don't sit on a pew in church and vegetate away, but if they really invest it and do what I ask them to do, then I'm going to give them rulership, authority. They will reign as priests and kings with me for 1,000 years. I will give them rule over a city, over 5 cities, over 10 cities, according to what they have done in obedience to me. Shalom, Torah fans. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Tap the subscription button and the bell icon, and I promise to update weekly with in-depth biblical research. Be sure to download the new michaelrood.tv app for both mobile and home devices for even more commercial-free content.